Exciting news coming out of Malaysian archaeology. A team from the National University of Malaysia, led by Zul Iskandar Ramli, has successfully excavated 16 individuals over 4 sites in Nenggiri, near Gua Musang, Kelantan. The most important find being a complete skeleton dating to around 14 to 16,000 years ago. Scientists have identified the sites to belong to this Hoabinhian culture. This Hoabinhian culture is a stone techno-industrial culture that spans most part of mainland Southeast Asia and some parts of northern Sumatra. Now, Hoabinhian culture doesn't necessarily represent an ethnic group. Rather, it denotes a lithic technological culture that shares certain similarities in their stone tools, their sustenance sources, and their preference for shelter. Interestingly, this paper from 2011 argues that Hoabinhian sites so happen to correspond to distribution of Paleolithic woody bamboo, suggesting perhaps a sustenance strategy linked to the widespread use of bamboo plants. But who were these Hoabinhian people, and do they have descendants today? To understand this, we first need to turn back time to the moment modern Homo sapiens left Africa. Now, this goes back to 60 to 70,000 years ago, so I will try to be brief. So let's start. Now, once human left Africa, one group went northwest, another group went east. The ones that went east, we call them the East Eurasian population or Eastern Eurasian population. By 45,000 years ago, these Eastern Eurasian people have reached northern India. Here, they diverge into 3 major groups. One went south into southern India. We call these people the Ancient Ancestral South Indian, the AASI. Another group fast-tracked to Papua and Australia. We call these people the Australasians. And the last group, they stayed in mainland Southeast Asia, forming the Ancient East Asian group, marked here as ESEA. This ESEA group would further divide into 2 distinct populations. Those moving north became the Ancient Northern and Ancient Southern East Asian, marked singularly here as East Asian. Another group moved south, and this is the population that we identify perhaps with the Hoabinhian culture. But it is important to note that these Hoabinhian people are not closely related to the majority of people living in Southeast Asia today. The majority of modern Austroasiatic speakers, like the Vietnamese and the Khmer, the Cambodians, or the Thai Kadai speakers like Thai or Laotian, or the Austronesian speakers like the people of Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines, all of these people have their ancestry in the ancient East Asian group that went north before migrating back into Southeast Asia, somewhere between 5,000 years ago to as late as 1,000 years ago for certain groups. According to this 2022 paper, the closest relative to Hoabinhian in Malaysia and southern Thailand today are the Negritos of Semenanjung, like the Semang and the Manik people. Another paper, also from 2022, took the Manik as a surrogate, represented here as light green, to compare against various populations in Southeast Asia, with only trace amount showing up in the Cham population, the Malay, the Khmer, and the Thai population. Comparing the Andamanese, like Onga and the Jarawa, returns a similar result, with only trace amount showing in Cambodians and Malays, but a slightly elevated level for Jahai, basically a Semang group of people, and the Mandrik and the Mameri. What this tells us is that the Orang Asli of Malaysia represents an earlier substrate of the peopling of Southeast Asia, perhaps corresponding with the Hoabinhian culture. But subsequent Middle Holocene migration of Austroasiatic speakers and Austronesian speakers from the mainland displaced but also intermixed slightly with this older group, contributing significantly to their genetic makeup today, but not so much the other way around.